Have you ever felt angry about something, but you did not know how to say it in English? Or maybe you made a mistake and you did not know how to say sorry properly. Today, we are going to fix that problem. Stay with us.
That is right. Whether you're at a restaurant, at a shop, or at work, knowing how to complain and apologize in English is so important. And today, we're going to show you exactly how to do it. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. I am Kate. It is so great to see you here today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Martin. Thank you so much for being here with us. We love having you in our little English learning family.
If this is your first time here, a big welcome to you. And if you are coming back, welcome back. We are so happy you're here.
And hey, if you find today's episode helpful, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode.
Yes, and leave a comment below. We read every single one. We love hearing from you.
Okay, so today's topic is very practical. We're talking about handling complaints and apologies in English.
Yes, and this is a topic that so many English learners struggle with. Right, Martin?
Absolutely. I think the problem is that when we're upset or embarrassed, it is already hard to speak, and then doing it in another language, that makes it even harder.
Exactly. So today, we're going to help you feel confident. We'll show you how to complain politely without sounding rude and how to apologize sincerely so people actually believe you.
Great stuff. Let's get into it.
So, Martin, let's start with complaints. What does it mean to complain?
Good question. Complaining means telling someone that something is wrong or that you're not happy about something. For example, your food at a restaurant is cold, or your hotel room is dirty, or a product you bought is broken.
Right. And the key is, how do we say it politely? Because nobody wants to sound rude or aggressive.
Exactly. So in English, we often use soft phrases to start a complaint. For example, "Excuse me, I think there might be a problem," or "I'm sorry to bother you, but..." These phrases make you sound polite and respectful.
Oh, I love that. I'm sorry to bother you, but... That is such a polite way to start.
Yes, and here's a real example. Imagine you're in a restaurant in Washington. You order soup, but it arrives cold. What do you say?
You can say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I think my soup is cold. Could you please warm it up for me?"
Perfect. Short, polite, clear. That's all you need. You do not need to get angry. You do not need to shout. Just be calm and clear.
And you know what? People respond much better when you're calm. We see this a lot here in Washington. People appreciate it when you're direct, but also respectful.
Yes, I completely agree. I was at a coffee shop here in Washington last week. My order was wrong. They gave me a latte instead of a black coffee. So I said, "Excuse me, I think there might be a mix-up with my order. I ordered a black coffee."
And what happened?
They fixed it immediately and said sorry. No drama at all. That is the power of polite English.
That's a great example. Now, let's talk about the other side, apologies. What do we say when we make a mistake?
Yes, this is so important too. In English, we have many ways to say sorry. The most basic one is, "I'm sorry." But sometimes that is not enough. You need to show that you really understand what went wrong.
Right. So a more complete apology sounds like, "I'm really sorry about that. It was my fault. I should have been more careful." You are not just saying sorry, you are also taking responsibility.
Exactly. And in a professional situation, like at work, you might say, "I sincerely apologize for the misunderstanding. I will make sure it does not happen again."
Oh, that sounds very professional. I sincerely apologize. Using words like sincerely makes the apology feel very genuine.
That is so true. And here's another important thing. When you apologize, try to offer a solution. Don't just say sorry and stop there. Say what you will do to fix it.
Yes. So instead of just, "I'm sorry I was late," you can say, "I'm so sorry I was late. I will make sure to leave earlier next time." That shows you are serious.
Brilliant. And also, when you receive an apology, you need to respond. You cannot just stay silent.
That is true. So what do we say when someone says sorry to us?
You can say, "That's okay, don't worry about it," or "No problem at all."
Or if it's a bigger situation, you might say, I appreciate your apology. Thank you. All of these sound natural and kind.
Perfect. And when it's a formal situation, for example, at work, you can say, I accept your apology. Let's move forward and solve this together.
Oh, I love that phrase, let's move forward. It is so professional and positive.
Right. And one more thing. In English, the word sorry is actually used a lot in daily conversation, not just for big mistakes. For example, in Washington, if you accidentally bump into someone on the street, you say, oh, sorry, right away. It's a reflex.
Yes, or if you did not hear what someone said, you might say, sorry? Could you repeat that? It's very common. English speakers say sorry a lot.
That is very true. It's part of the culture. And once you start using these phrases naturally, your English will feel much more fluent.
Okay, let's talk about some tips. Kate, what is your number one tip for learners when it comes to complaints?
My number one tip is always stay calm. I know it can be frustrating when something goes wrong, but in English, and honestly in any language, a calm voice works so much better. People listen to you more.
That is such good advice. And my tip is use I statements. Instead of saying, you gave me the wrong order, say, I think I received the wrong order. Do you see the difference?
Oh, yes. When you say you, it can sound like you are blaming someone. But when you say I, you are just sharing your experience. It feels less aggressive.
Exactly. And for apologies, my tip is this. Be specific. Don't just say, I'm sorry. Say exactly what you are sorry for. I'm sorry I forgot to send the email. That shows the other person that you really understand.
Yes. And another tip, practice these phrases out loud. Seriously. Say them alone at home. Say them in front of a mirror. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel.
Absolutely. And do not be afraid to make mistakes. Even people who live in Washington and speak English every day, sometimes they say the wrong thing. It happens to everyone.
So true. The important thing is that you try. People will always appreciate that. Okay, now let's do some practice. These are real-life situations you can try today. Martin, give us the first situation.
Okay. Situation 1. You are at a hotel in Washington and your room is too noisy. What do you say to the front desk? Try saying, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but my room is very noisy. Is it possible to change to a quieter room, please?
Excellent. Polite, clear, and with a solution idea. Asking for a different room. Situation 2. You accidentally spill coffee on your colleague's documents at the office. What do you say? Try saying, oh no, I'm so sorry. I was not careful at all. I will help you clean this up right away. And if anything is damaged, please let me know.
Perfect. You are taking responsibility and offering to help. That is a great apology.
Situation 3. You ordered a package online, but it arrived broken. You call customer service. What do you say? Try saying, hello, I'm calling about my recent order. I received my package, but unfortunately the item inside was broken. Could you please help me with a replacement or a refund?
That is so good. Calm, professional, and you told them exactly what happened and what you need.
And situation 4. A friend apologizes to you for canceling your plans at the last minute. How do you respond? Kindly. Hey, don't worry about it. These things happen. Let's just reschedule for another day.
Beautiful. Warm, friendly, and forgiving. That is exactly how friends speak to each other in real life.
I love all of these examples. Learners, please try saying them out loud right now. Pause the video if you need to. Practice each one.
All right, it is time for our question of the day. This is our favorite part.
Yes, today's question is for you in the comments. Ready?
We really do read every comment, and honestly, we love seeing how much you improve.
Even if you write just one sentence, that is amazing. Every little step counts in your English journey. We are cheering for you.
Okay, everyone, we are almost at the end of today's episode. But before we go, let's quickly review what we learned today.
Yes, we learned how to make polite complaints in English using soft phrases like, I'm sorry to bother you, but, and I think there might be a problem.
We also learned how to give a real, sincere apology by being specific, taking responsibility, and offering a solution.
And we learned how to respond when someone says sorry to us, with phrases like, no worries, and let's move forward.
These are real skills you can use every single day. In a shop, at work, with friends, even in Washington or any English-speaking city around the world.
Exactly. And remember, the key is to be calm, be clear, and be kind. That will take you so far.
Thank you so much for watching today. We really hope this episode was helpful for you. If it was,
Please give it a thumbs up. It means the world to us.
And if you have not subscribed yet, please do it now. We have so many great episodes coming up. You do not want to miss them.
Also, share this episode with a friend who is also learning English. Sharing is caring.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep going. Your English is getting better every single day. I promise.
Take care, everyone. Goodbye from Martin.
And goodbye from Kate. See you in the next one. Waves!